Hey everyone, this is Corey with Stafford ZDC, and welcome back to another episode of Slipjoint Sunday. Today we're going to be taking a look at a custom slip joint that is going around the Pass Around group right now. Big thank you to them for organizing this one. This is a Zulu pattern. Hopefully you can see the tang stamp there. It says Philbrick, because this is from Benjamin Philbrick of Philbrick Knives. As I said, this is a Zulu pattern. This has paper micarta scales with some jigging on it. So that texturing is called a houndstooth shield. Bolsters, a very firm pull with a nice half stop. Things are almost flush on the back spring. There's just a little lip right there, and there is just enough transition you can feel in the open position, and in the closed position there's just a little bit of a transition you can feel as well. It's very, very close to being flush. You can see the spring sits just below the bolsters there. Very, very well done fit and finish. Perfectly flush is what you love to see from custom slip joints, but I know that he is putting out a lot of work and improving regularly, Benjamin here. So seeing that is really nice. It's super close to being just very good. Centering is just a little bit off on this guy. No rubbing or anything. Very tough to get traditional knives centered. As someone who has taken apart their fair share and put back together a couple slip joints, it's not easy. So I am nitpicking. Believe me when I say I'm nitpicking. I'm being very intentionally hard on this guy because I've handled some tremendous work. I have another knife in my pocket from Mike Moran right now. That is one of the most well done slip joints I've ever handled in my life. He can get there. I fully believe he can get to Mike's level. It's just going to take more time and refinement, and I have no doubt about it because I love the action on this. The walk and talk, the pull is super strong, real firm half stop. Like the way that this knife stops the half, I love. It's so authoritative, and there's no doubt that it's stopping there. It doesn't rattle at all. It's not playing up and down in any direction. It's fit very nicely. Just the timing is slightly off on that back spring. That does come with a little card with some information, so it's obviously backwards for you guys, but it says Zulu spear. The blade is hand rubbed CPM 154 at 61 HRC. The frame, as well as the doesn't say that what the spring is. I imagine the spring is also CPM 154, but the frame and the bolsters are 416 stainless steel, and the liners are 410 stainless. The shield is 416, and the covers, as I said, are hand jigged vintage black paper micarta. This one is 3.85 inches closed, which is pretty typical of a Zulu. You want to see them between 3.7 and 4 inches closed most of the time, unless you're looking at like a mini Zulu, which will be featured in a video coming up from a different maker. But you can see this is a very nice knife. That jigging is really beautiful. It's, a really nice pattern. It creates great texture in hand. Now there's just a couple of like sharper edges around the jigging, but not so bad that like they hurt or that they're gonna cut your hand or anything like that. Just like the corners down here, might notice are a little bit sharp. Not a problem. They can always get knocked down with like a piece of sandpaper. No issue at all. The fluting on the bolsters, which is this groove right here, super nice to see. It's a great touch. You don't normally get on more affordable knives. And I say affordable because from what I have seen, Mr. Philbrick here charges between $350 and $500 for his knives, which, some of you are going to say, oh my God, that's ridiculous. But he's making these by hand. These are custom knives, and he has some stock available. Every time I've looked at his website and his Instagram, there's usually something available for sale. He has some flush joints that are really cool conceptually. I've never actually handled one. I would certainly like to, just not in a position to buy, unfortunately, because I am moving at the end of October here. But yeah, overall, I mean, the fit and finish is pretty nice. Besides, there's a little bit of depression in there, and just at this angle, you can kind of see the pin right underneath my pointer finger for the pivot, and you might be able to catch it on this side as well, just barely. It's blended pretty well, so I have no real issues with it. You gotta be looking for it to see it, and as I said, there might be a hint of blade play. No, I mean, it's basically rock solid. If there's something there, I'm possibly making it up. This has a nice grind on it. I believe it is a hollow grind. That's what it looks like anyway. And it cut really nicely. You know, there's like the little things I just wish were a little bit different, a little bit more refined. Like coming at this with a higher grit to get rid of some of these deeper scratches would look really nice, having this more polished. Because he went through the effort of doing a higher grit finish on these bolsters. So it would have been nice to see that on the back spring and the liners. And you can see it on this side as well. It's nice, don't get me wrong, it's uniform, but it's a little bit rough. You can see it on the back spring as well. Seeing those a little bit more nicely finished would be very nice, and would kind of be the cherry on top of an already really good knife, but it would take that, it would take him up a huge notch, especially at the price range he's already at. If he just incorporated a little bit more fit and finish into these, I think he'd be giving, it's already good value, but it would be tremendous value with just a little bit more refinement put into it. Because functionally, it's great. I really like this. It fits my hand nicely. I can see myself picking up a knife from him in the future. And that's not something I can say about every custom maker. Sometimes I'll handle stuff and be like, okay, yeah, I'm good. I've handled one. I don't need another one. This is one where I would gladly revisit one of his knives, especially something made more to my spec. I love the Zulu pattern. 3.85 is a little bit small. It's not bad. I think I'd prefer a 4-inch Zulu. The 3.85 kind of opens my eyes a little bit too. It's slightly smaller than my typical, so it's not bad at all. I think a Lanny's clip would be really nice to have from him, because that's something I don't have in the collection right now. I technically do, but I'm going to be selling it. That's a whole different story. But I have several Zulu patterns. I have a Pacheco pattern. I could use a Trapper. I could use a Lanny's clip. There's other patterns I'm not huge on, but I could definitely see myself picking one up from Mr. Benjamin Philbrick in the future. So I'm going to try to remember to link all of his information down below, his website and his Instagram. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed hearing my opinion about this guy here on a beautiful Sunday. I'm actually recording this on a Tuesday, but you guys will see this on a Sunday for the first return of Slipjoint Sunday for some time. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest and take care.